If you've got a toothache, you want to go see your dentist, not an art historian, not a plumber, not an astrophysicist. But if you want to learn about art history, your dentist probably won't be too much help, and if you want to learn how to fix a leaky pipe, your friendly neighborhood astrophysicist probably shouldn't be your first choice. When we talk about looking for a good source of information, that often means that we want to find experts. But experts aren't just people who are really smart. There are lots of people who are smart about some things and aren't smart about other things. To be an expert means that you have domain knowledge. That means that you have deep understanding of a particular issue or topic. Finding experts online isn't always easy, since for any given topic there's going to be a ton of different people giving their opinions about it. For example, one thing that people are talking a lot about these days is artificial intelligence, or AI for short. Some people are really optimistic and think that it's going to solve all of life's problems. Some people are a little bit more skeptical. But it seems like everyone's got something to say. Entrepreneurs, tech industry people, psychologists, politicians, athletes, social media influencers, everyone. And while these people might be smart in their own right, they don't necessarily possess any domain knowledge about AI. So while they may be well-intentioned, they're not all experts. So how do we evaluate expertise? Well, most prominent individuals and organizations do have Wikipedia pages, so you can always check Wikipedia to gather some more information about them. And if they don't have a Wikipedia page, you can always do a quick search to see if you can find some more information to see if they have the appropriate domain knowledge. Here we can check for a few things. We can see if a person has a degree in a relevant field or works in a related industry. We can also see if they've published books or articles on the topic that they claim to be experts in. This isn't going to give us the whole picture, but it can give us some information that can help us make a decision about whether the person that we're looking at is someone who really does know what they're talking about. It's important to look for expertise online because a lot of the opinions that we come across are not from experts, especially when it comes to trendy topics. For example, here's an article that interviews the movie director James Cameron. He directed those Terminator movies, the ones about killer robot assassins from the future, and someone thought he would be a good person to interview about the dangers of AI. Now, Cameron warns us that AI poses a serious risk to humanity, and he also says that we're going to end up getting into a nuclear arms race with AI. Now, that sounds like pretty scary stuff, but Cameron isn't a computer scientist. He's a movie director, and while his movies have made billions of dollars, just because he's an expert at that doesn't mean that he's an expert at something else. Now, expertise isn't something that's all or nothing. Some people know a little bit about a topic, and some people know a lot more. And sometimes people who have some domain knowledge can disagree. One person who gets a lot of media attention is Elon Musk, and you better believe that he has some opinions about AI. Here's an article where he says that AI will cause civilization destruction. Here's one where he calls it the most destructive force in history. And here's another article where he says that because of AI, probably none of us in the future will have a job. Musk has got a lot of opinions, but is he really the best person to listen to when it comes to artificial intelligence? In case you haven't heard of Elon Musk, we can take a quick check of his Wikipedia page. It does seem like he has some affiliation with AI. He's been at the head of a couple of AI companies, but his role looks to be more as an investor as opposed to somebody who works very closely with the technology. Musk does seem like he has some knowledge about AI, but it's not obvious that we should take his word for it when he's making those big, scary claims. Now here's another article where someone is saying that Musk's claims are overblown. It's by someone named Yann LeCun. You probably haven't heard of LeCun before, so we can do some research to figure out what he's all about. He does have a Wikipedia page, and by doing a quick skim, we can see that he is an award-winning computer scientist and chief AI scientist at Meta. So chances are he has some pretty deep domain knowledge. Now, does that mean that LeCun is 100% right and Musk is 100% wrong? Not exactly. Being an expert doesn't mean that you can never make mistakes or that you don't change your mind, but an expert has the domain knowledge that they need to gather new information and update their beliefs. And the experts that are usually the most useful are the ones that will take care to not only tell you what they think, but put that in the context of what other people think as well. One of your best possible sources of information, at least to start with, is one that makes an effort to reach out to multiple experts and synthesize what they have to say. This is why newspaper reporting is still really valuable. A good reporter will try to understand where there's consensus and disagreement in a field and tries to accurately reflect that. And reporters are often in the best position to provide the most reliable information, not only because they have access to all those experts, but because of their skills in sorting through a lot of information. Professional organizations are also really helpful here. So if I'm going online to find out some information about issues related to health, the Public Health Agency of Canada will not only give me the opinion of a single medical professional, but will give me a picture of what the scientific consensus looks like. Experts are often our best sources of information, but if you're looking for experts online, you might need to look past the people who are the loudest or getting the most attention and try to find those people who really do have domain knowledge.